Do you wave your terrible towel when Renegade plays? Reach for a tasty cake when JJ shouts, "He scores!" Does the sound of an F1 engine make your heart race? Doing push-ups with the Nittany Lion after a TD? Then lend us an ear, and we will share the exhilaration of Steelers football, the excitement of Flyers hockey, the nail-biting finishes of F1, and the pride when we yell, "We are Penn State." Welcome to the SteelFlyers Show, the strangest combination of sports fandom since pineapple was put on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the SteelFlyers special podcast. We got a special one here for you tonight, folks. We're going to be doing a special Pittsburgh Steelers training camp and preseason kind of preview, kind of live, kind of whatever. So we're hoping that y'all can hear and hoping everything's going fast. All right, sounds like we're good to go. Thank you all for hopping on here and joining us, and really appreciate you guys being here. So, can't wait to get into it here. Really excited. First preseason game tomorrow, 7 o'clock against the Houston Texans. And we're going to talk a little bit about that here, but I want to get into some things here real quick. So, by the way, big thanks to Spreaker for all your help in getting us out to all of the podcasting platforms. Really appreciate that. Also, really appreciate all of the Facebook groups for getting us out there and allowing us to post out on your groups and all that. So, really appreciate that as well, too. So, here we go. That's right, baby. Here we go. That's right. 2024 preseason game tomorrow at 7 o'clock against the Houston Texans. And we already know who's going to be the starter for the Steelers, and that's right, it's going to be Justin Fields. So, let's talk about a few things first while we get into this here. And I just want to mention that, look, the training camp up in Latrobe has been a great tradition for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's awesome to be up there at Chuck Noll Field. It's an amazing facility. They do it right up there. They take care of the fans. There's very good access to the players. I mean, I saw the players. They were doing the rock paper scissors Rochambeau for autographs and stuff. I mean, that's the kind of cool stuff you like to see there with the kids and the team and everybody, coming together in Latrobe there. So, man, kudos to the Steelers for doing such an awesome job over many, many, many years with being up there, doing training camp and taking care of everything and doing it right. And making them boys work, making them boys sweat, as Mike Tomlin likes to say, making them work. So, all right, Mike, you did good. You're making them work, and that's what we like to see. And, boy, there's a lot of work that's been going on here the last few weeks. So, let's start talking about the elephant in the room. That's right, folks. We're talking about this right here. Okay, and the whole situation with this is now much better. First of all, though, we got to say this. Russel Wilson did suffer a calf injury in the conditioning drill. So he was pretty much out for the first couple weeks of training camp, or the first week or so or whatever of training camp. So he hasn't really seen a lot of action, whereas Justin Fields has seen most of the number one reps in camp so far. As of Wednesday, Russel Wilson was a full participant in practice, did a lot of 11-on-11 drills, and was, like I said, a full participant in practice and went through the whole progression of quarterback room drills and the whole 9 yards. So great to see Russell Wilson back, you know what I mean? So that's one of those really cool things that, okay, yeah, he got hurt and he's working through it, and the Steelers are not, hey, look, it's training camp. You know what I mean? So, okay, I understand where everybody's coming from. Do you know what I mean? Because Justin Fields has really stepped up and has done a great job in camp. And I have to say, Even my eyes have been opened, but let me just say this with a grain of salt. I'm still not sold on another Chicago Bears quarterback cast off. Okay, we got him for a 6th-round pick. He's making league minimum, 1-year deal, $1 million. The same as Russell Wilson, 1-year deal, $1 million. For the naysayers out there, let me say this about what's going on here in this quarterback room. Because it's now completely 180 degrees different than what it was last year at this time. Kenny Pickett is now playing in Philadelphia or practicing in Philadelphia. Mason Rudolph has gone to parts south to the Titans. And Mitch Trubisky went back up north to Buffalo. So we got a completely new quarterback room. Kyle Allen is the other arm there, and along with Justin Fields and Russell Wilson as the top 3 that we're looking at here as far as quarterbacks are concerned. Anyway, let me get back to what I was going to try and say here about the quarterbacks. Everybody is talking about, or what I've been seeing in the media and things of that nature where, this and that and everything else. Let me say this. In the last 3 years, Russell Wilson had approximately 49 touchdowns to 16, 17, or maybe 19, correct me if I'm wrong, interceptions. I think he averaged close to 4,000 yards per year and had a 67% completion percentage. All day long, that averages out better than what our quarterback room has put together in the last 3 years. A la Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, Mitch Trubisky combined. Okay? So I really think that if Russell Wilson is not running for his life and he's able to sit back there and bounce, and he's going to be able to look and see and pick and go and do, and if that's what's going to be, then we'll see that happening. If not, then we're going to see what we get in Justin Fields, and that's what we're going to see here on the first preseason game. So that's my opinion about what's going on with the quarterbacks. I'm excited about Russell Wilson. I'm excited to see what he's still going to be able to do with somebody who, with his level of talent, his level of pedigree, what he's won already, what he's already accomplished in the NFL. I mean, he's playing for the league minimum, although Denver did pay $39 million for him to not play there. So he's the $40 million quarterback that we're giving $1 million to, playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I, for one, am super excited about Russell Wilson playing for the Steelers and can't wait to see what he does for this team and with the new offensive coordinator and some other things that we're going to talk about next, which is exactly what you all thought we need to talk about. That's right. The offensive line. Yes. The offensive line has, well, I think we've got some improvements going on here in the offensive line. I think in the last 2 years, drafting-wise, especially with Omar Khan coming in here and just doing an amazing job of drafting the last 2 years. I mean, okay, Broderick Jones coming into his 2nd year, okay, I think is going to solidify himself as the anchor to this offensive line as it should be. I'm looking forward to seeing him pancake would-be rushers coming in. It doesn't matter if he's playing right or left. It's not going to matter. Okay? Quite frankly, I think he's going to probably stay at left. Okay? So that will give the rookie, Troy Fauntanu, the left tackle, which is where I think is his natural position. And he's been getting first-team reps as well. So I'm also really excited about Zack Frazier as the center. I'm excited about that. There's quite a few guys, that I really think are going to help this line be much more improved. And with the change in offensive coordinating, I think we're going to see different schemes for the type of talent that the Steelers have up front. Okay? And we didn't see that with Matt Canada. Okay? We did not see him take advantage or use those guys to the best advantage until towards the end when he wasn't really doing it anymore. You know what I mean? When he was fired and the other guys started doing it, it was like, hey, look at that. We can run down the field. What do you know? Or, hey, look, we can open it up and do some passing and stuff down the middle because, hey, the offensive line is able to provide a pocket. What do you know? Hey, all right. But that's kind of what I'm getting to here. You know what I mean? This offensive line needs to gel in camp, and they need to be able to come out swinging. Okay? We've been blessed with no injuries of significance other than the Russel Wilson and the other nicks and cuts that happens on, as far as training camp is concerned. But the offensive line has to gel, come together. They provided, look, the offense ranked 25th last year, okay? What? 17.9 points a game? Really? That's not going to win you many games. Okay? It's really not. Okay, we averaged, 118 yards rushing per game, but look at the passing yards per game. The 186 yards passing. Now, a lot of that has to do with the quarterback, and I understand that, but some of that has to do with the offensive line not being able to hold their blocks or being able to take care to make sure that the quarterback's jersey stays clean. That's all I'm saying, okay? So, and I think the schemes that we're seeing with Smith now as the coordinator instead of Canada, we're going to see some different schemes. So I think we're going to see strengths of the offensive line, okay, where we're going to see the speed of the Broderick Joneses, you know what I mean? Where we're going to see the Herbigs maybe contributing as well, and some of the other guys coming in there, and Seumalo and whatever guys coming in there and doing that. And I really think this offensive line needs to come together in camp and take care of business and come out swinging and just they need to make statements by opening holes for Najee and Jalen. They just need to be able to hold blocks long enough for Freiermuth to cut across the middle, or Heyward's brother to cut across the middle for some catches, or some posts, or just you understand what I'm trying to say here, some RPOs and things of that nature, because the offensive line is capable of doing these kinds of things. When you have an offensive line that can do these kinds of things, then you can have with what George Pickens is calling explosive offense. You know what I mean? So, okay, explosive offense. Well, I got to tell you, that's a pretty huge lineup of wide receivers right there, and that's exactly what George Pickens said in press availability just a couple of days ago, where he felt that this offense could be very explosive. And when you watch a training camp, a lot of the footage of training camp, and you really study, what's going on there, you can see the explosiveness, the potential for the explosiveness there. Okay. Now, is that because it's everybody's still kind of in shorts and helmets, and there's very few padded practices? You understand what I'm saying? So everybody looks good in shorts and helmets, and you know what I mean, right? Well, you strap it up and start putting your hand in the dirt, you know what I mean? And then come talk to me, okay? So we're going to see that here come tomorrow when this team straps it up against the Houston Texans at home. So that's going to be exciting to check that out for sure. And I believe that the NFL Network is going to carry a boatload of the preseason games, and I believe that might be on some of the local Pittsburgh channels, like it always is. I mean, gosh, if you live in Pittsburgh, it's on 3 channels. I mean, I'm not kidding. Anyway, but when you look at the list of guys that are in that wide receiver room, and especially with the intended top three right now being Calvin Austin, Van Jefferson, and George Pickens, being the top three wide receivers, and then there's a plethora, as you can see in the list there, of other guys that potentially can make other contributions to the team. Some guys might end up being on the practice squad and or whatever's going to happen. But and now with the breaking news of the Braden Ayuk potentially coming to the Steelers, I mean that really puts another wrinkle into the situation here if that deal actually does come about. Until he's wearing a jersey that's either white or whatever, and he's wearing the black and gold, then I'll believe whatever they say. You know what I mean? When Ian Rappaport comes out and says, "Hey, you got a trade here," or something happens, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I mean, so we'll check it out, and we'll be excited to see what the game's going to be. But the wide receivers need to step up. We need to see what Calvin Austin III is going to be able to do now that he's listed on the depth chart. We need to see now if George Pickens can step into that number one role now that Dante Johnson is now playing elsewhere in Carolina. You know what I mean? What are we going to get with Van Jefferson? Guy brought in as well. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how that goes, and interested to see what goes on here in the wide receiver group and how everything flies. So the last little thing here I want to talk about is, of course, you know it. It's defense. Defense wins championships, right? Well, here we go. Defense for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Last year, ranked 21st for 2023. They allowed 227 yards passing and 115 yards on the ground. Okay. They allowed 19 points per game and had 47 sacks, which not too shabby thanks to the two guys there in the picture, and then some help there from the guy in the background there with Cam Heyward, that being T.J. Watt and Alex Highsmith. Alex Highsmith, I think, last year had an amazing breakout year because of the absence of T.J. Watt there for a little bit. So I mean, I'm so excited to see these guys healthy, and I'm also excited, very excited, to see the addition of Patrick Queen from the Ravens now playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. In addition, now, so I think that finally gives the Steelers that Mac linebacker. Now I think I'm fingers crossed. I think he could be that guy that will be able to do the things that another player did a few years ago. You know what I mean? So I think he can be that guy. He does have that speed. He has the frame. He's kind of built like that, and he's really good, and he's a hard hitter, and he's really known to be playing the position well, especially for the Ravens the last few years. So looking forward to seeing him play for the Steelers, along with Alex Highsmith, and along with T.J. Watt and the rest of the guys, Ogunjobi and Heyward up front, and Beanie Bishop now was named the starter there in the slot for the cornerback. I'd like to see the second year for Joey Porter Jr. coming out for his second year. I got to watch him play in Penn State all the time he was there at Penn State. And man, this kid is just he has not reached his ceiling yet. He has not reached his until when he learns this game. Oh my gosh, when 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 the game slows down for him, you know what I mean? Like when it comes to him like that, when you know and you need to be in the league sometimes a year, two, three, sometimes when that happens, and when the game slows down for you, when you can see things in front of you happening and you can react and judge. Oh my gosh, he's gonna be an amazing talent, and you couple that with Minka Fitzpatrick coming in healthy. Holy smoly! I gotta tell you something. I think the defense could be explosive too. I'm looking to see if we can get that ball hawk back with league leading interceptions. I love seeing the defense all gather at the end zone, all standing there all proud, like, yeah, look, we just took the ball away from you. What? I love seeing that. Keep doing that. That helps your offense. When you do that, that creates opportunity for your offense. And now we need to get an offense that can take advantage of that and put some balls in the end zones. We've got some talent up front now. Fryermuth, now in his fourth year coming in, healthy, has had an amazing camp. Heyward, Cam's brother, Connor, has had an amazing camp, right? Those guys need to be involved. Over the middle needs to be involved. Okay, I've seen a lot of that in the passing game, and I've also seen a lot of the running game doing really, really well. Like I said, everybody looks good in shorts, but um, like seeing that kind of stuff, like seeing what the defense is going to be able to do this year with everybody coming in, you know, on the plus. So we're going to see a lot of the younger guys, a lot of the rookies are going to play in this first preseason game. Unfortunately, I don't think Roman Wilson will, make it to this game. I'm not sure what the status on his injury is. I don't think it's season ending, but I'm not sure. I did hear he got some good news, but like I said, I'm gonna have to circle back around for that. Roman Wilson was one of the Steelers' draft picks. He was drafted out of Michigan as a standout there in Michigan's national championship team as a wide receiver. And he got hurt. I thought that's a lower body injury, is what I remember it being. So we'll have to see how that pans out for him. If he's able to play at the opening of the season, he might be one of the starting wide receivers. So we'll have to see how that all works out, how that goes. So I'm interested to see if Troy Fauntanu can make the team. It would be interesting to see if he does. I don't think that's going to happen because that's not Mike Tomlin. So he might get worked in occasional, like what they did with Broderick Jones. I mean, I think he didn't even get a sniff until like the third or fourth game. And then by the sixth or seventh game, I think he was starting. So, I mean, we'll see how it all goes. All in all, though, looking forward to a really cool season here for the Steelers. So, let's see here. What do we got here? All right. Well, hey, look, this is the first time we tried to go live for a little bit here, and we're just doing this as we'll continue to do it and continue to do it and continue to do it. You know what I'm saying? But looking forward to the first preseason game coming up here on Friday at 7 o'clock. Looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with this team and how things are going to pan out. There's a lot of stuff riding on this team for this coming season, and they need to figure some things out on offense. I think with the change, getting rid of Matt Canada finally, and getting Smith in from the Falcons, who was originally coaching at the Titans. So I mean, he had Derrick Henry and Tannehill, and they both did really well offensively there when he was in control of that. So I mean, I'm very optimistic. I'm cautiously optimistic about this season. I still think that this could potentially be this could be a good team. This really could be a good special team, but we got to see how things pan out with this quarterback situation. I think Russell Wilson needs to get some more time. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited about this coming season, and I'll tell you what, I'm excited about having you all here and checking us out. So please go over to the SteelFlyers All Sports Network website at steelflyers.com. I'm your host, Ron SteelFlyers, and you can check me out on Twitter at SteelFlyers52, and you can check us out on the web at steelflyers.com. You can also check us out on YouTube or any and all of your favorite podcasting platforms, from Spotify to Apple to iHeart. You name it, we're there. All you have to do is type in SteelFlyers Podcast, and we will be there. Give us a like and a 5 stars, and we'll be appreciating that for sure. Also, thank you all for tuning in and checking us out for this special edition of the Pittsburgh Steelers training camp and preseason live show special. I'm your host, Ron SteelFlyers. Just remember, folks,